Anyway, this is Beard, and I did something kind of cool with the clouds that I wanted to show off. It's got some problems. You might not be able to see them right away, but it does have them. What this is doing is it's giving us double FPS on the sky. If I just look at the sky, you can see we're getting like 200 FPS with this. Whereas if I turn this option off, we're getting like 120 FPS, and it's got that shimmer that I've been wanting to get rid of. So this problem both gets rid of that shimmer and doubles the FPS. How, you might ask? Well, I will show you. The problem that I've got with this guy mostly in this is that it's very expensive. So if we're on Ultra here, it's more crisp, but the frame rate is trash. Like Ultra is only getting like 15 FPS if we don't use frame gen. But that's because these clouds are different than most Minecraft clouds. Like up here you can get up into them and everything, but it's also just that this is all like one 3D volume that stretches throughout the entire world. It doesn't really have layers, like it just is, and it's got a lot of detail. But because of that, it's expensive to kind of ray trace through. Which is why on the lower settings we mostly just lower the resolution on it. But when I do that a lot, we get that shimmer when I'm doing the denoising through it. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the technique that I did for the reflections, where we're caching the data and then updating it over several frames. You can see if I fly forward, it still looks like a smooth transition. Even if I look sideways while I'm flying, it still feels like we're moving smoothly forward. And if I bring in rain, you'll see that it still has like a smooth transition. The problem with it is that it gives the sky a we still got cloud shadows and everything because it's still 3D data. This guy gets a little bit of a butthole, and there's a crack too on one of these sides sometimes. Can't see it now, but sometimes it shows up. But again, this gives us almost double the FPS for the sky, so that it is no longer the heaviest thing. And I think that's just a really cool way to expand lower settings. There's that crack. And I can probably get rid of that later. I'm also treating this not as a volumetric fog layer, but just as a distance-based fade fog at the moment. So it is going to have some problems with, let's see, like big things in the background that are really tall. But I'm going to adjust that later because this is doing a 3D capture still. So I can still treat it as fully 3D. And you see again, like as we fly through it, it still feels like smooth movement through it because of the way I'm kind of like interpolating between the 3D images. But that's the problem, But anyway, I just wanted to share this because I thought that anyone interested in computer graphics might think this was cool as a technique. And I also thought that anyone on low-end machines would think this is cool. Like I said, it's doubling the FPS on low settings. Because otherwise, to have kind of like a really coherent sky, currently our option is to use Ultra, which, like I said, the FPS is trash unless we use frame gen. If we do use frame gen, you can see then here we're still getting like 100 FPS. But I realize that like frame generation isn't everybody's cup of tea, and it's not something everybody's going to want to do. Even though it lets us get, I mean, a much better picture. But still, I want to put effort into actually like coding well, and not just relying on frame generation like AAA studios do, because I think that's kind of a cop-out. It lets us push things, and that's cool, but I still want to push things in the performance area as well. So yeah, that's this. I thought it was really cool, and some of you guys might appreciate it. And I'll try to make some more tutorials and stuff later this week. Hope you all have a good time. Talk to you soon.